Okay, guys. TikTok shut me down, probably because of this bad boy. I'll touch on why that's here in this video in a moment. And I guess I'm having some hardware issues with Facebook Live, alright? Anyway, I'm going to tell the story from the beginning. Ironically, telling the story 3 times. So, I was about 9 years old, and we had a pretty rough home environment. My mom was married to this guy who she thought would be a strong father figure and a good disciplinarian for her boys. Now, look, I'm not here to tell you not to spank your kids. I personally don't agree with it, but I can't have no kids, so it ain't really no business of mine. What's more, if you think you can corporally punish a child in a manner conducive to their well-being, more power to you. Not my fucking business. It becomes my business when you become abusive. Now, that's exactly what this was. And I'm not disparaging my biological parents. Of everyone here, with the exceptions of a couple parties involved, were doing what they had to do. All right? My mom did what she had to do to keep a roof over her boys' heads and to survive. My dad did the best he could, as a father separated from the mother of his children. All right? So I want to clear that up so that none of my family members think I'm coming for them. That's not what this is about. I don't hold animosity towards them. It has nothing to do with that. It's the situation I was in and the way people that were supposed to take care of it mishandled it. I was 9 years old, and I have a brother who is disabled, okay? We didn't know that at the time. He was just kind of different. But now we know he's disabled, okay? So my brother collected and still does collect Legos and Lego pirate ships. Still does. You see him in some of my videos, actually, in his room when I go in there and play Xbox. So we were getting ready to go visit my dad. This was rough for us. There was kind of some contention with us and our dad, just, the situation we were in. And you know how it is with these custody things. Parents will sometimes pit their children against the other one, just how it is, okay? So both parties here have admitted, hey, we did that, our bad, no big deal, we've moved on, okay? It's been 6 years since it's mattered to me. Anyway, so, my stepfather, his name was David, had a very strong temper. He's a very big man as well. Like, I might have trouble with this guy now. I mean, probably not. I mean as shit, I'll fucking bite you. But he's a big son of a bitch, like 6'4", 350, okay? He's fat, but a lot of that was muscle. And me and my brother were scrawny fucking 9-year-old kids. So he sees Cody not moving at an acceptable rate of speed to put away his toy pirate ships and runs after him with what he would call a paddle, but you or I might see as a billy club or a boat oar or a cricket bat. It looked more like a cricket bat without the edges rounded off. Big heavy fucker, about yay long, okay? In my opinion, kind of overkill and probably fucking actually dangerous to be paddling your kids with, alright? I think you'd probably fucking crack a skull if you missed. And boy, did it. So, David is coming after Cody, and I bow up on him. Go ahead and touch him, I dare you. Pull a fucking knife off the counter, and he comes over and grabs me by my shoulders and fucking slams me up against the china cabinet at the corner of the dining room. And he just holds me there and shakes me. Oh, you dare me? You dare me? And I'm fucking petrified 9-year-old, don't know what the hell to do. Nowadays, you try that shit, you're getting fucking stabbed. But Mom comes over and separates us, and we go to my dad's, and we go over to my stepmother's mom's, where her apartment complex had a pool. So I have my shirt off. All right? And my dad sees these bruises on my arms, these fresh fucking bruises. This guy's fucking bear paws on my upper bicep. Like right up here on both sides. And he, my dad's like, all right, son, let's finish up at the pool, go get us something to eat. We're going to go see somebody. Oh, boy, here we go. I know what's coming. We're going to the cops. Great. Knew this was going to be some hassle, and boy was it. Get over to the Bi-State Justice Building after we eat, go see a detective, a nurse checks me out. So, they check me out. Okay, son, we'll follow up with you. Y'all have a good weekend. And we went and had a damn good weekend. Me and my dad and my brother went to the mountains. We had a good old time. We saw some sunsets and had a fire and fought raccoons. It was just a grand old time up at Albert Park. Well, Monday rolls around and I get back to my mom's and get the worst fucking ass beating ever. Because my dad had to bring us back. She had, that joint custody. She had us most of the time. It was the law. Week goes by, another week goes by, and here comes the city detective, Tina Lee, Texarkana, Texas Police Department, whose job was to investigate allegations of child abuse. 2 weeks later, after I've moved on and kind of put it behind me already because I'm 9 years old, and she comes in and wants to talk to me, and she starts telling me all this shit about, child abuse is this and that and the other in the state of Texas and whatever. Well, this goes on for a week where I get taken to Bi-State. Instead of her coming to me, there's what's wrong, number one. You go to the victim. You don't make them come to you. I'm a victim, not a suspect, despite what she wanted to lead me to believe. Second, I don't have a guardian or an attorney present during this. I'm a minor. That's questionably fucking legal. But, my dad, I don't even think was aware this was going on. So, and my mom, she's supposed to testify against her husband. Well, that's another questionably legal thing. So, to this day, I have bad handwriting. At 9 years old, it was atrocious. She sees this and picks up on it. Light bulb goes on. Makes me rewrite my statement 3 or 4 times, has me type it out, has me tell it to her while she types it out. Are you sure that happened, or did this happen? You say this, do you mean this? Now, here's the thing. The way cops work, if I say one time, I drive a red Silverado, okay? And then the next time they ask me, I say, yeah, I drive a Chevy pickup. Okay, what kind of pickup? A 1500 or 2500? A Colorado? Colorado wasn't around then. An Avalanche? I think the Avalanche was. You said it was blue, right? No, it was red. I said that the first time. Why didn't you say it this time? That's how they do this. You've been questioned by the cops, they do this shit to you over and over and over, so you trip yourself up. So you get one thing wrong, okay, you slip up, say something backwards, Freudian slip, whatever you want to call it, we all do it. I do it in this fucking video, I promise you. And that's when your statement becomes as good as the word of Satan himself. She did this to a 9-year-old. This goes on for a week. Every day I go over here and I have to talk to this witch. And every single day it's the same story. Are you sure this happened? Okay, your mom can come pick you up. Did this in a room alone? Wrong. Did this in front of other detectives where I could get laughed at and humiliated? Wrong. The key point here, she did this without an attorney or a parent or guardian present, which she did on purpose. Now, finally, I think it was a Sunday, because I'd been there all fucking day, she says, look, one of the things that's going to happen, you're going to rescind all this, say nothing happened, you lied for attention, you're not happy with your stepdad because he took away your Xbox or something, I don't know. And we're going to move on. Or, I'm going to arrest you right here and take you to juvie for lying to the police. Now here's something I found out. Not too long after, when I was in middle school. You can't arrest a 9-year-old for lying to the police on a sworn statement. He's 9. I wasn't a sworn statement anyway. It's a police report. You can't arrest me for that shit. I'm 9 years old. All right? Ask your 9-year-old, if you have one, what'd you eat for breakfast? It's going to give him trouble, I promise you. He's going to have trouble remembering that because his mind is on bicycles and video games and Legos and puppy dogs and eating turtles and making mud pies and all that other boy shit, not fucking, being abused. In fact, kids that are abused almost always have, repressed memories. All right? It's a coping mechanism wherein they force themselves to forget about it and put it out of their mind to keep from having to relive the trauma. Okay? Why kids are super resilient. All right? Kids also physically heal faster. Right? You put a bruise on me now, it probably won't last 2 weeks, but it sure is fucking gonna last 2 weeks when I'm 9. So, I go home. Things move on. Life's back to normal. I grow up. I become a man. I see all this going on in the world around me, and I realize this has happened to me too. You know, this isn't a repressed memory. I've thought about this almost every day of my life since then, and it's been, how old am I? 24? 15 years? And I can remember almost every detail. The first time I met her, she had on khaki pants, black tennis shoes, Glock 21. I remember it was a 21, it was a 45 auto. Glock 21 in a fucking Serpa holster on her right hip, black rigger's belt, blue polo top with a windbreaker that said Texarkana, Texas Police Department. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Remember every detail about this woman. 5'2", probably 40 pounds overweight. Almost attractive, not quite. To the point it's a little repulsive. And this isn't me trying to make a personal attack on you as much as I can't fucking stand you, Tina Lee. This is just a statement of fact. It's what you looked like to me when I was 9. And I don't know why you couldn't have investigated that. You couldn't have tried to get this to go to trial. You couldn't have tried to get a conviction. All the evidence was there. All the witnesses were there. All the neighbors who would have said, we hear screaming and hollering and crying kids over there all the time. We hear glass breaking. We hear people hitting the floor, bodies landing on linoleum. And you couldn't do anything about it. You could have been a hero. You could have busted this. You could have saved 3 fucking kids, and then 4 to include my older sister. All right, including both my brothers, me, and my older sister. You could have saved 4 fucking kids from this shit, and a whole lot worse shit went on here. I'm not going to talk about these other guys' trauma that I wasn't direct witness to. There's a lot of shit that went on in that house that you could have stopped, but instead, you chose either the easy way out because it was too hard to do your fucking job, or another theory I'm working on that might seem a little crackpot, you were fucking bribed. Why do I think that? Well, let's see. David, my stepfather, I don't remember what exactly he did, but he worked for this construction company over here off 71 right up the road from me, and he made good fucking money because he always had a brand new dually, Dodge, 2500 or 3500, typically 3500. The reason he had a 3500 typically is because it was a way for him to pull his $80,000 trailer full of $1,000 airplanes, dozens of them, around town to go to these remote control air shows. The guy had fucking money. And I'm sure if it meant not going to prison for decades and never being allowed around a child again, he could have fucking spent it. And you would have fucking taken it just to be able to not do your job for a week. Tina Lee, if you see this, why don't you just tell me what happened? But you won't, because you're a liar. Because that's what you do. You lie. By profession, by trade. I've made it my life's goal to have justice in this life. Before I leave this earth, I will see you at minimum never allowed to work in a law enforcement capacity again. Because I'm sure the statute of limitations is passed. It's sad that it's taken that long for me to get to a point where I'm ready and have the time to deal with this shit. I have other shit going on in my life. The military, school, figuring my shit out, you know, growing into my own. All that's done with now, and I got nothing but time. I wish I could go back and talk to 9-year-old me. Pull you in another room and tell you, listen, kiddo, don't listen to a fucking word she says. She's lying to you because she doesn't want to do her job. Don't say another fucking word to her. You tell her you want your dad, you want your mom, and you want an attorney. Tell her that and don't say another fucking word no matter what she says. If she wants to take you to juvie, let her. Give it a week, you'll go to your first hearing, you'll fucking be out free, and she'll probably be out of a fucking job. Juvie ain't that bad. It ain't like you fucking smoke. But I can't do that. But what I can do is get justice for me and all the other kids that in all likelihood you, Tina Lee, abandoned. All the other kids who you're culpable in hurting. Now, why do I have an AR in my lap? You guys remember Chris Ledbetter? We hope to see him free soon. Because when he tried to expose his department for the same shit, they fucking hung him. Trumped some shit up, went out of their way to fucking bother this guy for calling them on their shit. The feds, who were more than happy to show up with their fucking crow system on their MRAPs to fucking arrest this guy for doing the right thing. Someone who had been harassed by his fucking local police department. People, his tax dollars go in their pockets. His tax dollars that bought those MRAPs. What if one of those MRAPs was one of the ones he wrote in the Middle East himself when he was in the Corps? You ever think about that one? Not going to happen to me. For one, what are you going to get me on? For two, I've been all over the world. At least the part that matters, America. I know a million places I can go. Tina Lee, you will see justice for what you did. And if it doesn't happen in my lifetime, that's fine. It'll happen in the next. The man's going to come around. And when he does, I hope to be a fly on the wall to hear what you have to say to him. What you have to say for yourself. Because it ain't really me that worries me so much. I grew up and I'm all right. I mean, I don't sleep well. I had a mean temper for years. I don't trust easy. I don't like authority. It's hard for me to get on with a boss at a job site. It's caused me a lot of problems. Gave me a lot of problems in the military too. But I'm here, ain't I? And I wonder how many kids you could have taken care of that aren't. Either because they're of their abuser directly, or because it got to them so much that they fell into drugs and suicide and all this other shit. And I'm not going to say, oh, well, that's your fault you did that. No. Yeah, you made that decision. What's that about? Woe to those that would lead these young ones into sin. It'd be better if they had a millstone tied around their neck and they were cast into the sea. Because maybe one of them kids, oh yeah, he might have grown up and, been a drunk. He might have grown up and cheated on his wife. He might have grown up and embellished some money from his employer. But maybe if he hadn't have been in this abusive, negative home environment because of your inaction, he wouldn't have gotten into drugs. He wouldn't have gone to prison. He wouldn't have fell in with a gang. He wouldn't have killed himself because of the mental trauma he underwent. It wouldn't have caused him the health problems he has that ended up taking his life. Maybe if that person already had a disability, he could have gotten the help he needed in foster care, or with his other parent, or with grandma or an aunt. He had every opportunity to do the right thing. But it was just too difficult. And I'm kind of the opinion, despite my lack of hard evidence here, the money was just too good. Time for me to do some video editing. I guess my memory on this phone is getting short, so it cuts me off a few minutes in. I'll say this, save our children. I'm all behind that. And I don't care that it's mostly like a right-wing Trump thing any more than I care that Black Lives Matter is mostly a left-wing Biden thing. There's truth in it, and I agree with it. So, when I see a cause I can agree with, I stand for the cause. Okay? The rest of it I could care less about. Now, think about this. Something like 1 in 4 homes, there's child abuse going on in there. 1 in 4 households are abusive towards their children. Statistically, if you live in the suburbs, it's happening a couple houses down from you, okay? I don't know what the average size of a suburb is. I know this isn't happening in my neighborhood because I know all my neighbors really well. I've grown up with these people that we've all lived here our entire lives, pretty much. And most of them are old and don't have kids that still live at home. But in your neighborhood, there's child abuse going on. And I ain't telling you, kick someone's door in, or none of that shit. I'm not telling you to do that. But I am telling you to observe everything around you, okay? The kid next door seems to have a black eye. Well, it's the middle of summer, and he don't ever really play with no other kids. Where'd you get that black eye? I didn't like you getting bullied. You get in a fight, Hey, he's limping. Did he fall off his bike, or what's going on at home? Nosiness is acceptable sometimes. Well, we know the cops aren't always the most trustworthy. What do? Well, that's where the boys come in. Now, again, I can't promise we can go kick any doors in, but we can probably cost somebody the job. We can probably make somebody unable to show their face in town. We can probably force the hand of the police who, while in their job, did swear to serve and protect, to do something about it. Just through public outcry. And at the bare minimum, maybe we can get these kids somewhere safe. Okay? Because I'll be frank with you, if you're a child abuser, I don't give a fuck one way or another what happens to you. I don't care if you get drug out and drawn and quartered. I don't give a shit if you go out the rest of your life. I'd like to see you get drug out and drawn and quartered, but if you don't, whatever. but I don't want to see no more hurt kids. And the government allows it, enables it, and in this case, fucking encourages it. So, all I want you guys to do is share this fucking video everywhere, okay? I know you listen to me talk for minutes on end. If you got my message, share this fucking video, give them a brief summary of what went on. I know it's been 15 years. I'm just now at a spot in my life where I can even handle this, okay? Unless someone can bring me a fucking DeLorean with a flux capacitor swap. So, this shit's got to stop. When there's injustice, do something about it. Never let evil take root. We'll see you guys. Be safe. All right? Do the right thing first.